What's going on, geeks? You're listening to episode 298 of the Geeks Under Grace podcast. My name is Cody Armour. I'm here with Shelley Nollan.
Hello.
And Lj.Lowery.
What up?
And this week, we're geeking out about our Hufflepuff ride. Had to throw that in there because last week we found out we were Hufflepuffs.
Yeah.
We're switching out Disney for Warner Brothers in the movie department. We're going to switch back to Disney after that. Because we talk about the future of Daredevil, which we didn't see coming. That's a lie. We totally did.
How dare you? How dare you?
I'm offended. No, just kidding.
Oh, for those there's probably a lot of people that don't know that, LJ. That your vision.
Oh, yeah. That I'm legally blind in my right eye.
People will be like, wait, what?
Yeah.
This is going to be a good podcast. Let's get into the games that we've been playing. I'm going to start because it's kind of an old game. I just want to get through this really quick. Assassin's
like you
Creed.
To get through the game.
Yeah. Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I took months to finish it because I was like, I'm going to wait to finish it until I got a PS5. And then
it's a big game, right?
It's what?
It's a big game.
Yes.
It is.
Yeah.
So.
Not as big as
pretty
Odyssey,
far.
but still big.
Yeah.
I basically got so far into it in the PS4 version that it was like taking forever to load. And I was like, I'm just going to wait for a PS5. Really glad that I did that. Yeah. It gets real laggy towards the end.
Like, yeah, imagine, I mean, sorry, small change, but just like, yeah, imagine playing a game on system and the further along you get, the worse it loads. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's so unfortunate.
It was bad.
Games started riding the struggle bus on PS4, like late into the generation.
Yeah.
Mine sounded like a jet
I would go
plane.
to talk to somebody and it would load to talk to them. Like I'd go to a shop and it would load up like a good 2-minute load to talk.
Like, there's some places in Breath of the Wild where it lags really bad, but at least it's not like dependent on like progress. It's just dependent on area. Mm-hmm. But
that
still.
makes sense.
Anyway, not to
I think I was gathering so much like inventory, I guess.
You were also
Maybe it
playing
was
on a base PS4, right?
Yes, very like an original jet engine of a console.
That could be a jet engine. Yeah, no, that could be the case because that was in that transition period where certain versions didn't run the greatest on some of those. So, anyway.
But I got it on PS5, and then I just got distracted, started playing other things on PS5 instead of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Finally went back and finished it. And I'd love to say that I rolled credits, but apparently that doesn't exist.
Whack.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
We're
like
at in Backlog Golf. We're all about rolling credits, and that's sad that does not have credits.
Yeah, and it's for you guys, you'd have to kind of like, I guess, almost get together and decide on what the ending is.
We would just have to say like, "Hey, I finished the story, but I didn't roll credits." Which we usually have discussions about things like that. Be like, "Hey, I did this." You know, so does that?
Like there's other games like that too.
Yeah, we all kind of discuss things like that. You know,
it's
like
easier
about
when you actually rolls credit because then it's like you really have that. It feels like I beat the game.
That's why people play games. Is like, to say I rolled credits on something. You know.
Yeah.
Like, there's technically 3 places this game could have ended for me. So there's an Assassin's Creed. You know, what's the thing? Your Animus.
Yeah.
There's that story, and that story kind of concluded way before the rest of what I played did.
Okay.
There's this kind of thing where you get to play as Odin. That's not huge spoilery. We kind of talked about it on this podcast already in the past. And so that has a storyline that could be kind of seen. It kind of wraps things up in a way. And then the other thing is, on the map of England, the whole game is building alliances with other small towns and stuff, fortresses. And so, like, in my mind, that was the end of it, was to completely conquer the entire map. And the ending, I didn't think I was, like, in the end. I figured it was part of that story. And, because usually, they're a good, like, 3 hours long, each little segment. And I did this in, like, 45 minutes. Nothing really happened. And then, it's just over. And then you get these 2 little missions where you go do things and you get little cutscenes, and there's no credits. I don't know.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, someone told me that to really finish it, I need to do the order stuff. There's the Templars, I guess, would be.
Oh yes, you need to kill all the like people that are part of the order. Yeah.
Yeah, someone said that would be the real ending of the game, which I guess I kind of get that. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to go back. I might dip into the DLCs. But at this point, it's so repetitive that I'm just kind of like, do I want to?
I mean, this all just reminds me of, I had a friend who did a speed run for one of the old computer I Spy games. This video we did for this I Spy game, it was like the Halloween edition. There was like some special edition. He got to the menu and he clicked credits, and then that was a speed run. And I don't know if it's still on speedrun.com as a valid speed run, but at least it was for a long time.
That's fantastic. Cool. That's cool. Are you in a mansion in that?
Yeah, it was a mansion.
I totally played that game.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Let's go.
Weird. It's like real far back in my memory.
Core memory unlocked.
Yeah.
Cool. That's basically all I've been doing. Obviously, cool. Apex and stuff. But that was the exciting thing that was not exciting. I was real bummed. Yeah. What about you, LJ?
Okay, so I got, so this week I picked up my copy of Stranger of Paradise, and I actually got this cool hat with my pre-order. The audio listeners cannot see it, but
that's
got this cool little Stranger of Paradise hat with my pre-order. And it's cool. It's fun. I haven't put a ton of time into it still, but it's gonna be fun. It's definitely got a challenging aspect to it. It's got that Souls-ish aspect because the developers of this one made Neo, the samurai one.
Oh yeah.
So it's Team Ninja and Koei Tecmo. And I explained a little bit about it last week when I played the demo, but now I got the full game, and it's cool. It's fun. I'm excited to play more of it. And speaking of Soulsy stuff, my Elden Ring review went up today on the website, so for those of you interested, go check that out. Yeah, and then the other thing I got to play that's really cool, it's pretty inexpensive actually. It's only $30. But I got a code for Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, which has been it's been cool, but the thing I forgot is that like the story mode is all just like visual novel style. Like it's basically just like it's kind of a bummer because I wish like you could play like the fights and actually things that happen in between. But it's basically just like Persona, but with only dialogue. Like it's only dialogue and like narration bits.
Well, see, but here's my question, because I'm so conflicted still, because I have not yet beat Persona 4 Golden, and I really want Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, and I have for a long time. Well, like, you know, hearing about it for a long time, and now it's out, so I'm just like, oh, I should get it, but like, I think I know who the big bad guy is, but I'm not confirmed, right? Like, I'm not actually there yet. So, but now I'm just kind of like trying to figure out like how spoilery is this game.
So that's why there's exactly what you mentioned. Is why I mentioned to you in the chat the other day. I'm like, I'm like, you might want to wait because I didn't know how invested you were. Like, the game is old, right? It's been around
for sure,
for a while.
And there's no reason for them to. I mean,
but if you're invested, but if you're invested in it, you don't want to be spoiled on it. So that's why I mentioned. I'm like, oof, there's some big character stuff in here.
It's like I'm pretty sure I know like who's the BBEG. I just don't know how. I don't know any of the context.
I'll say this.
I don't know any of the details.
You would easily be spoiled on who that is just by playing the game.
Yeah, then that makes sense. Then I'm probably gonna just have to keep waiting. Yeah. I keep like thinking about it. I'm like, I should just get it. Like, I really want it, but I'm like, no, I just need to like actually play Persona 4 Golden more. Besides just stream, like, cause I just stream it. But even then, like, I haven't been able to stream very often recently because like we're looking for housing, and so like my streaming schedule's like essentially non-existent right now. Yeah, like I need to spend time away from streaming to actually play the game so I can get this new game.
Yeah. I like it though. It's cool to see, like, having played a little bit of Persona 3 even, it's cool to see where some characters are. like the friend character, kind of like Kyosuke. Junpei is the character from Persona 3, and it's funny to see where he's at according to the story. I was like, whoa, like he's like I think he's like plays for like a baseball team and stuff. Like he's already like grown, like
Nice.
all those Persona 3 characters are grown up, and so it's just funny to see that character, like, and he's not even part of like Seed anymore, which is like the main group in Persona 3. So I was just like, whoa, like he's just totally a normal dude now, but like his moves are all like baseball themed, and he uses a bat and things. So it was cool to see, like, it. I forgot how cool it is to see where those characters are at, and it's kind of, it is. I do wish there was like sequences I could play in between all the dialogue, because it's great, like it's fully voice acted and everything, but it's just like it's just me clicking the A button the whole time to get through all the dialogue, and I'm like, that's kind of boring. Like I know it's well written, like as a Persona game should be, but I'm like, at least give me some fights in between. So I just play the arcade mode, and then they got this cool they call it like a dungeon mode or palace mode or something, where it's basically like a survival mode, but you get to add stats to your character like with each fight you get through.
Oh,
so it adds like a little, it adds like a little RPG.
I want to play
element.
this game. Dang it! I gotta play Persona 4 Golden. No.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I love that game, but I'm also like
And then it has like
have to grind it.
Its arcade mode gives you context like of that character going through the story. So at least like playing the arcade mode does give me context of what happens in that story, or else I would not like again, I don't want to just sit there and click A all the time, or else I'm gonna fall asleep.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like I feel bad because I'm like, I don't want to click through that story, but I know it's good. I have yet to figure out, because technically this is like an ultimate version of the original, but it also has a new story, so I don't know yet if I can even play like the arcade mode of the original, because they're actually separate stories. But this one does have the story of the original Persona 4 arena. So it's slightly confusing, but also it's got a full roster of characters I've never played before, because it is the Ultimax version. So there's a lot that's still new to me there, and it just reaffirms that we really need a Persona 5 arena, and that it's like, okay, if you're releasing this, maybe you're gauging the interest on whether that would be a thing, because
I wonder, because like part of me is also like, is Strikers their replacement?
Could be.
It makes me wonder,
that's
because
a sequel.
I would be, I don't know why they would do two direct sequels of like Strikers, and then they would have to either have an arena ultimate or an arena game.
Yeah, because then they have like the Dancing All Night games for both of them, which I think is hilarious. So it's
that's true. It doesn't matter, I guess.
It really doesn't matter, but I think if it's Persona 5, people will buy it, and especially people. Arc System Works is doing such a good job now. Like, it's like they could totally just make another Persona 5 arena, and people would buy it.
Yeah, I probably.
So, the mechanics are cool. There's 2 buttons that are mapped to your persona, so you can do like moves with your persona.
Oh,
and then there's 2 other buttons that are mapped to like normals.
I'm so bad at like
one
actual
of them's like a heavy attack,
games,
and one of them's like a normal.
Like learn this one and want to actually try a fighting game besides Smash.
Yeah. I think this would, being that you're a Persona fan, I feel like this would be the perfect one to at least try.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's my Persona 4 arena experience.
Cool.
So, yeah.
You been playing anything, Shelley?
I have not been playing anything new. I went to a regional this last weekend, though. I guess that's one thing.
Oh, cool.
Because I'm always playing Smash, right? Like, that's the one consistent thing I always play. I never need to mention it. But I did go to a regional this last weekend that was very fun. So regional just being like, there's the ways fighting game tournaments in general, like not just Smash, works is like there's your locals, your weeklies that are sort of just like the small, like happen, every week or so. Then there's like sort of the step up from that is like a regional. So it's like, bigger event. This one is in particular is like a bi-monthly or so. It happens like once every 2 months or so. And happens at UW. So that was cool. And what was cool with that, I guess I could talk about this in the Geeking Out section, but I'm talking about it now because I have other games to talk about. So, if you guys are ever back in the Seattle area, I need to take you to Pink Gorilla.
Love it already.
Well, yeah, I got to see Pink Gorilla a little bit when they had that shop at PAX.
Yeah, but I need to do like the actual shop.
The actual store, yeah.
They have actually,
they had a lot of cool stuff at that kiosk.
Yeah, like so people might have seen Pink Gorilla from. They are very often at like PAX, or at least PAX West, because
there's probably been TikTok videos as well. I bet.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. They have cute stuffies. They have lots of games. I actually was looking for because they have like lots of old DS, 3DS, PlayStation, PS2, X, like pretty much any generation, right?
That's where I bought that Larry Boy game.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, this is weird.
I was looking for one of the Persona Q games though, and unfortunately I couldn't find it because I was like, those two games, either I'd actually be willing to like get and try, but unfortunately I could not find it then. So
yeah,
I'll have to get some other way. But
that's where I bought my nephew's like first little gift. He was barely born, and I bought him a Kirby thing with a headband. I was like, this is gonna be his first plushie.
It's just it's a cool little place. And if you're in the Seattle area, there's 2 locations. There's one in International District and there's one in U District. So anyway, I just thought I would mention.
Yeah,
that is something I did that was revolved around gaming, but no, I didn't buy anything new.
Cool. All right, we'll get into the gaming news then, LJ.
Okay. So the first news, I don't know how some people are. I don't know if some people are excited, being that this is CD Projekt Red, but they confirmed that a new Witcher game is in development today.
I am indeed excited.
I was gonna say, I feel like I've only seen people excited about it. Like, you're the first person who's mentioned, like, oh yeah, CD Projekt Red, everyone was upset about Cyberpunk. I'm like, you know what? That's a really valid point. No one else is talking about that. Everyone's treating it like it's an entirely different series, which it is, but...
I love how they didn't say, like, they didn't give any release window or anything. And they just said, hey, we're working on a new Witcher game. Like, y'all better keep your lips tight until you're ready to say some more. Like, I hope we don't hear about this thing for another year or 2.
That will be exciting to see in development. I only have the third Witcher game, and I rage quit, and I probably will never go back to it. But it'll be really fun to see. I know. I think I'm breaking everybody's hearts.
So on the flip side, there's no better time to be working on another one.
Yeah.
Because I mean the show is doing well, so it's like people obviously went back and played 3.
I was gonna say, if anything, I feel like if I'm gonna consume Witcher content, it's either gonna be the show,
the books,
or the books.
The books
part of me kind of was like,
best.
I kind of want to try reading the books, maybe, but I don't know. I just don't care that much, and I feel
I'm
bad.
sure
but I think
it's gonna be
cool to see.
While.
I think it's gonna be cool to see how like pretty the game's gonna be, because already again, like Wild Time, like is old. But it's still really pretty. It still looks really good. So there's lots of stuff in it.
Here's my hot take on this game, is that it shouldn't be about Geralt. It should be about Ciri. Which I think the third one was definitely leaning into that, because there are a lot of moments where you control Ciri.
Yeah.
So
I could see them do that.
Like it'll be like it's gonna be like The Last of Us 2. I'm not gonna spoil anything about that, but what if that's what it's like?
Sad. That would be cool.
Geralt's too much of a gangster to die like that, though.
Yeah.
I
wasn't gonna spoil anything. But
what?
I was like, I'm not gonna say too much, but you're like, nah, he won't die.
It's like, well, I feel like the game's old enough. If you played Last of Us 2, you would have
old
already...
enough? Didn't it come out last year?
Did it? I gotta look now.
It came out in 2020, I think. Because it was during the same Game Awards as Hades, and it won like everything. And I'm like, I need Hades.
That's
to win
awesome.
I
think the announcement of this game, it also was a really big announcement with their them working with Unreal Engine 5.
Oh,
it sounds
true.
like it's not just
they're dropping their own engine,
but it sounds like they're going to be kind of pioneering a lot of what Unreal Engine 5 can do as far as the open world stuff goes.
But honestly, that could be a good thing, especially with the cyberpunk stuff, right?
Yes,
yeah,
definitely.
Because they're dropping their own engine and using something that
actually
everybody
works.
knows works. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which, not that they hadn't done good work,
but they're using it in a way that hasn't really been explored much. I'm really excited about that. With that announcement being in place, I think that kind of is going to be a while before this game comes out.
Yeah.
Or they're like, oh, hey, we're going to use this engine in a whole new way. So if horses aren't getting on top of buildings, then I don't want it. We need roach spawning on rooftops.
You can jump on buildings with Torrent and Elden Ring.
Authentic Witcher experience.
Yes. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm really excited. Regardless if it's Geralt's or Ciri, both would be really, really cool and would make sense given the last game.
Yeah.
Um,
Which I never finished, but they totally were.
Well, there's a lot of different endings to that game.
Oh, cool.
So I don't know which one they're going to call canon or if they care to make one canon. I think, if I'm right, that game you could carry on your save from the games prior.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
I think you could, and then, because I was on PS4, and I don't think Witcher 2 was on PS4.
Even if they like completely remade like Witcher 1 or made it like a prequel or something, that would be cool, because Witcher 1
a ground-up remake would be awesome.
Well, yeah, like Witcher 1 is so outdated that it's rough.
I looked at both Witcher 1 and 2, and I said, nah.
2 is still really good. That one holds up in some ways, but 1 is just no.
I'm still waiting for Joseph Anderson's third review for The Witcher. He's a YouTuber. He's been doing these incredibly long video essays on each Witcher game.
Okay.
So if you want to sort of experience the Witcher experience without playing it, you can watch his videos. He literally read all of the books, I think in Polish. I may be wrong. He did incredibly extensive research for all of these videos, and he still has yet to release the one on Witcher 3. Part of it is also because, well, one, he had another kid, so that's one thing. But two, because he wanted to play through Cyberpunk first to get more of the CD Projekt Red experience.
Wonder how that worked out
so that's all I'm saying. It's if you have like 5 hours to just like listen to something in the background.
That's cool.
It's a good watch. It's a good time.
Witcher 3 is a long game too.
It's long,
it is.
Yeah.
And the DLC was like a third of the game, like a third more of the game.
It's just another game.
I've heard that DLC is really good, at least the second one.
The DLC, Blood and Wine, is probably better than the actual game.
That's cool.
And it felt, for me, just as long, but I'm sure it wasn't.
Cool.
But in good ways. I mean, I didn't want to leave that world. I was really sad when I was done. Probably one of my favorite games.
Yeah, I didn't expect for us to spend that much time on The Witcher, which is it's still exciting. Yeah. So the next thing is more for me, but Fortnite has temporarily removed the ability to build, and I say temporarily because it's for story reasons, like part of the season stuff. Mm-hmm. And I may have nearly shed a happy tear when I was able to cap somebody up on a hill and they didn't build 20 stories in 5 seconds when I tried to shoot them. So I was just like, wow. There's like, they added like an overshield, like a small overshield to kind of make up the difference. But like, I was just like, wow, like this feels like, it felt great because like, there's people that still don't build. And it's like, I've been telling people for a couple years now, it's like, I still get wins and I don't build. But now it's like, it just feels like everybody's on the same playing field, which is exciting.
Sounds a lot like Apex.
Yeah, well, see, they added actually a limited like sprint thing now too, so you can do like a sprint that's faster, and it's got like a meter, and you can actually vault now, which you can do in Apex. Okay. So you can actually like vault on edges and stuff, which is cool. Like, they're making that game really like more like mobile, like as far as like more like, you can move around a lot more.
Maneuverable,
and stuff like maneuverable. Yes, there you go. Yeah. That's cool. So, yeah, I really dig it, and I hope that even if when they do bring the building back, I hope they keep a separate playlist, a separate mode for the non-building, because I would be, that's what I would play. I would just play that only if they kept it. So, new characters on the season are Prowler. He's going to be like the big, like, do stuff to unlock him, kind of a thing. And then Doctor Strange is a character, was one of the final characters you can get. So yeah, those are like the Prowler skin is cool.
So weird.
Well, that's like a couple of the like guest characters, but then they have like, that's what I play for. I play for the guest characters mostly, and if I see one that looks cool, I'm like, oh, right on. But yeah, so that makes me more of a casual Fortnite player, I guess, because I know people who like enjoy all the skins and like have favorites that are like original. But I'm like, nope, I'm here for the guest characters.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what's going on in Fortnite, if anybody cared. And then the final thing I think we can all really geek out on is Hogwarts Legacy, which looks
great.
It looks too good to be true in my opinion.
Nice.
Okay, I can see that.
The only thing it's missing is Quidditch, in my opinion.
Well, they were on brooms. I bet we do get Quidditch, at least as a mini game.
On brooms.
I wonder. I feel like, but
they can do a DLC.
The fact that you can just ride around on a broom everywhere, though, I was like so happy because that was literally like. I didn't play too many Harry Potter games growing up, but I did have. I don't know why specifically the third one, Prisoner of Azkaban. I had both on Game Boy and on GameCube. I don't know why that specifically.
That was like an RPG kind of.
Yeah, well, for Game Boy it was. For GameCube it was kind of different though. But my favorite thing to do in that game, like I don't even remember the rest of that game, but you could just fly around on Buckbeak around Hogwarts Castle. Yeah. And that's all I did. I would just take Buckbeak, be like,
you can do that in Hogwarts Legacy.
And you can do that on Hogwarts Legacy too. Or just on Broomstick. I'm just like, that's so cool. I love that. That's literally like
so much
what
you can
I
do
want
in that game.
From a Harry Potter game.
You can literally be the kind of wizard you want to. You can specialize in like the like botany, like the plant stuff.
Yeah,
you can specialize in different kind of magic. They got duels.
You can do curses. They were doing the freaking killing curse, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Is this like multiplayer or is it a single player?
Totally single player.
Okay, I'd rather that it be single player.
It reminds me of like Bully partially. Like I hope there's like it just because like that school mentality. Like I hope like I don't know. Like it just kind of gives me like Bully vibes. Like
I thought for some reason this is gonna be Destiny-esque and that you'd have this like shared world. And that's I'm happy to hear that that's not.
I don't know where you got those vibes. I don't know. Or got those. So
from like the very first announcement, so I do very little.
So it's from Avalanche, the company that made like the Mad Max game and made like I think they also did the Just Cause games.
Okay.
So they're very good at open world stuff. Like Mad Max game wasn't that great, but I enjoyed it.
That'll be a big part of it. Is how big is this map?
It looks very big.
It looks big, yeah.
Like
because you can
it's
go
not
outside the
just
castle.
Hogwarts, which already Hogwarts is huge because they already talked about there's hidden rooms and stuff. There's places that you don't see in the movies. You only hear about in the books, which I think is very cool. And there's like the room requirements and everything. Like there's a bunch of stuff in the actual castle, but it's like also the castle grounds. But then also Hogsmeade. They're like, yeah, you can go to Hogsmeade, and I'm like, that's huge. Oh, that's huge. I mean, you could spend so much time just exploring the castle already, right? But like the fact that you can like go to Hogsmeade, I don't know. I just there's so many parts of that presentation that made me so excited to play this game. The combat.
The combat looks fun.
Looks really cool. I'm like, I never cared for freaking. I mean, I think there's only like one battle, maybe two in the Harry Potter movies that I was actually like interested in. There was like the one, I think it was both of them in the fifth movie, because it was like there was one where they're in like the orbs are all around them and it's like all falling, and that's kind of fun. But then there's also the one between Voldemort and Dumbledore, and they're also fighting, and that one's kind of cool because they're both so powerful that they just do a bunch of weird nonsense that you don't understand. But this, I mean, most of the times it's always just like, shoot this, shoot that, shoot this, shoot that. But they're just like, you could like customize what type of, spells you want to use, and you could make potions to buff yourself.
I think one of the Deathly Hallows games was literally a Gears of War like shooter.
Oh my gosh.
Really?
That's awesome.
That's so funny.
It totally
I never
was.
played, I never really played
I never played any of those.
games.
The only Harry Potter game that I really played was Quidditch from EA Sports.
I love that game on Game Boy and GameCube.
I played it on GameCube. I didn't know there was a Game Boy version.
There was. I totally played the heck out of it.
GameCube version was amazing, though. Watching this, I really brought me back to. I want Quidditch, but I kind of just wish that we had a Quidditch game coming. I would play that too.
I hope they do like some kind of DLC, like a Quidditch theme or something. Like that'd be cool.
I feel like Broomstick League probably wouldn't have gotten taken. They wouldn't have worried about it if they didn't have a Quidditch thing going on. With
that game, that game getting taken down breaks my heart, because we were gonna get our logo in that game. This close.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
And it got taken down, and everybody loved that game when I streamed it.
But I feel like if they weren't working on something similar, they wouldn't have done that. So there's got to be something in Legacy.
I'm still kind of bitter about that one.
And I mean,
it was Rocket League, but a Harry Potter. Like, it was the perfect.
Yeah. I mean, but yeah, it's like, they showed off so much during this presentation, but there's also much more they could show off. I feel like there's still like stuff like really Quidditch exciting. That they could just.
Oh yeah, like you can like team and take care of creatures and stuff. Like to me, that's cool.
There's so much to this game. Like there's so much, and like even things like being able to like make friends and take them on adventures with you on quests.
You can literally get a party together.
Yeah, like
you can have your own
Dragon
little
Age, like
crew.
Yeah, like you can have a party.
You can have your own Ron and Hermione.
You can. The seasons change. Something as simple as that is so.
I can't wait because that's what I loved about the Bully games was like how you play through like Halloween and Christmas and things like that, and doing that in a Harry Potter game would be so cool.
Yeah, it's like there's snow on the ground now. There's like the sun's coming out. Like that's just so cool. I love that. I was like,
curious. What are you gonna do in the summer when the semester's over? And
I guess I don't know, but
go back to your family.
Who knows? And so that's the interesting concept of this. Is the story. It's set in like the 1800s and it's like a very distant prequel.
Yeah, that was a smart choice too.
Smart choice to keep it away from the plot of anything related to the books or movies.
Yes, like I don't need to see more people.
It doesn't need to be connected to Fantastic Beasts either.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's like, a single reference here and there is fine, but like again, like Fantastic Beasts, I'm just like it's still too intertwined for me. I don't love it. Except, I mean, the first movie was fine, but anyway, I think it's cool because then we get all new professors who we've never met before, and it's like the fact is, Hogwarts has been around for so long that even in what would be more present day, 1990s, where the or 1980s, 1990s when Harry Potter takes place, right? Mm-hmm. Still, it has that same energy because they are just always old school. Like they don't They don't like technology. They don't like all this, other stuff. They've done the same thing. They've taught the same way. They've done, for centuries, and this just like shows that. So it's cool how it's like they really can have such a separated timeline, or maybe not even timeline, but just like a time frame. Yeah. But it's like you still feel like have that same energy as you would like way in the future. Just like slightly older outfits, even though you still get the classic cape and stuff. Like I
love how you get to choose your house. To me, it's like you don't make a Harry Potter game like that without the ability to choose your house.
Yeah, and like you get to hang out in the dormitory. You get to hang out
in the commons.
The commons, and so I'm like, that's so cool. It's like they specifically made each common room with like love and care. It looks like they all look really good, which is again for. A Harry Potter fan, longtime Harry Potter fan. All the commons
areas look different. Like, it's not like they're just the same area reskinned.
Like, again, I think that's such a cool, like, thing that they've done where they're like, they, like, take these areas described from the books that were never shown in the movies, like, the Hufflepuff common room and things like that. Mm-hmm. And you're like, we're going to put it in this game so you can, like, hang out there. And I'm just like, yes! Let's go!
Hufflepuff day one.
Yep, definitely going to Hufflepuff.
100%.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, looks great.
Yeah. Really so, I mean, we could gush about this for the rest of the podcast, but
we gotta draw a line.
Yeah, this will be Geeks Under Grace's Game of the Year. I'm calling it. Holiday 2022 is the release date.
Okay, so it'll be fresh and everything. Yeah, you're probably right.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right, well, we'll get on. Into movies then. Shelley, we'll let you go first.
Yeah, I actually watched a couple movies this week. I'll talk about probably the less important ones first because they're not new to me. But my husband, he's never seen any High School Musical movies.
Okay.
And
I've never seen them.
We're bored.
Me neither.
So okay, fine. Well, we watched High School Musical 1 and 2. And let me tell you, they're both still not very good, but I still have fond memories. And the second one is pretty objectively better than the first one, I would say, but they're both pretty bad. I don't really know what more to say about it. It's just the music, I don't know, I felt big nostalgia for the music specifically.
Yeah, I'm sure it is one of those things where it's like you had to be into it at the time. Like, I feel like I was already beyond, I mean, not that I was never a big musical person anyway, but I think I was already moving on from Disney Channel at the time.
For sure.
So I never watched them.
I think what is interesting that I never noticed watching when I was a kid is that High School Musical 1 doesn't really follow a musical format. as much as the second one. Like the first one, there's like 1-2 sequences if you count the final dance number. I guess 3 sequences where there's like, you know, something happening and everyone's dancing and singing along, but of course it's just the inner thoughts and, you know, emotions of whoever is performing. That only happens a couple times in the first one. I feel like it's way more naturally done in the second one. It feels much more like a musical where it has like an opening number where everyone is like setting the tone, right? Like I'm not a huge musical like snob per se, but there are some rules with musicals that I do sort of understand and like pick up on. And so I thought that was interesting. Right. Not something I've really, you know, thought about watching as a kid, but besides that, they're just still kind of bad but fun in my opinion. So I watched that, or those, again, it's those 2 movies. But then I also watched Turning Red, and it was really good.
It's one of my favorite Pixar movies in years.
I mean, I don't understand why people don't like it. I think it is, animation-wise, it doesn't look like Pixar. It doesn't look like Pixar. Yeah. It looks better than Pixar. It looks like Sony animation.
It feels like Pixar breaking away from the what they've been told to do.
It's like I've never seen so many emotions, like facial expressions in a Pixar movie before in my life.
It gives me vibes of a Sony animation kind of at first. Like it's just that kind of new style that Sony's been doing.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like it's not literally like the 2D sort of style. It is like extreme facial animations, extreme scenarios that just bring so much life to movies like this. I'm like, thank you. You're finally like, I am so happy that we're finally coming back into this era of 3D animation where people are like, oh, we could be stylized and we can...
It's quality, yeah.
Like, you don't have to make 3D animation. 3D animation shouldn't be, oh, we're trying to make this look more realistic. It always should have just been kind of what 2D animation does in the sense of we just a different way of expressing something. So it's like, if we keep seeing movies like this, I'm going to be more than okay with 3D animation. Like, I even remember seeing there's a trailer for frickin' Puss in Boots is getting a sequel, which is crazy. Right. And that trailer looks insanely good because they do the same thing. They do, like, they again, it's like these studios are realizing that there's more success in being artistic and stylistic.
I never watched the other ones.
Yeah, and there's more. It's better to be artistic and stylistic in a movie like this rather than like, oh, we just have to animate this in a 3D way and not a 2D way because it's easier or whatever. It's like, no, you can like throw all these like colors in here. You can throw all these emotions in here. Music was so good in Turning Red. I love the music because I'm just like, oh, it's just Backstreet Boys. I love it.
Well, yeah, and it's very
it
of the
place early
times.
2000s, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and like, granted, I wasn't a middle schooler in early 2000s. I was too young for that, but I definitely related to this movie a lot. Yeah, I really, really liked this movie. I don't think I have anything bad to say about it.
I haven't seen it yet, but I really want to.
Yeah,
I came home and my wife was watching the end of it, and I was like, I did want to see that. She thought I didn't want to watch it because I've been putting it off all week.
Right, and like I do understand, I guess, with some like men out there who are like, oh, it's not for me or whatever. I'm like, I understand that, but you have to realize this is not
have to be
like this is a big deal. I feel like there's so many other like animated or not stories about like little like boys coming to age and like like sort of this transition of like, or you know, their bodies changing. I feel like that happens a lot in media, and there's not a lot of that for girls, and so I just think it's cool. I'm a big fan of that. I just felt it was really cool. I thought it was interesting how it handled very similar themes as Encanto, but in a very different way. Like coming away from the movie, I was together. Like, yeah, it was very, and I won't spoil it for Cody or anything necessarily, but it's like I found the themes were actually, at least some of the themes were like incredibly similar to Encanto, but like flipped on its head, sort of like taking from a different approach entirely, which I think is very cool because again, I think they're good, important, awesome themes and stuff to talk about. I really liked that movie. It was a good movie.
I will have to watch it.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Cool.
So pretty. Such a pretty, cool movie. Yeah, that's what I watched, though.
The movie that I did get to watch this week, and LJ, you watched this too.
Yeah.
Is Netflix's Adam Project. Did that hit theaters, or are they doing that yet?
No, they did. It went straight to Netflix.
Okay.
Feels like it should have been in theaters, though, honestly.
Yeah, I would have been okay watching that in theaters. I don't know if I would have at this point.
That's one of those movies I would have gone into being like, like it's probably going to be okay, and then I would have left being like, oh, that was better than I thought.
Yeah, I was very well surprised. I love that Ryan Reynolds is very much Ryan Reynolds in everything he does.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so unapologetic in this movie that they were just like, hey, we need to find a kid that just acts like Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
I can't remember the kid's name in the younger Adam. For those who don't know, the movie premise is that Ryan Reynolds visits a younger version of himself. Well, his character, not himself.
Yeah.
And so the kid does an amazing job right off the bat.
He's kind of a jerk, though. Like, they kind of, like, take Ryan Reynolds', like, kind of smart aleckness.
Yeah.
And he kind of turns out he's kind of a little jerk at first.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is funny because it takes that style that, like, it takes that person that, like, people find endearing, but it's like, oh, no, you're going a little too far. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
as a kid.
It's designed that way.
You're like, you're a punk.
Yeah.
I think really interesting too is Ryan Reynolds said this is some of his best acting, and I don't know if I would go there necessarily. He did really well. Now I'm thinking about it, I don't know what other movies that Ryan Reynolds been in that I've been like, man, that's amazing acting. His Deadpools are ridiculously good.
I was gonna say even Deadpool is like Ryan Reynolds times 20. You know, like it's just like letting him just cut loose.
But it's done so well. I think he probably means that he just has more emotion in this, shows more emotion in this than other things. I could see that.
Probably, yeah.
But yeah, really good movie. They were unapologetic about their lightsaber, which is fine. I'm glad that it wasn't just a lightsaber. It did a little bit more than that, action-wise.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought overall it was really good. It had a cool story, and it had heartfelt messages to it, and but it didn't feel like a little kid's show. I think that a kid could enjoy it though, even though it's PG-13.
I've never liked Mark Ruffalo. I'm not gonna say who he plays, but I actually really liked Mark Ruffalo in this movie.
Yeah, I like him as Bruce Banner. So.
Oh, see, I don't like him at all. I'm just an Edward Norton fan, I think, is why. But
yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen a ton of stuff Mark Ruffalo's in anyway.
But his idea was Professor Hulk, and I'm not a fan of that. So.
Yeah.
That's
anyway.
kind of a tangent.
I really liked Mark Ruffalo in this movie.
But yeah, I would, I don't know, give it a pretty high rating. I definitely recommend it. I feel like
the acting on it all around was actually pretty solid. I mean, even if Ryan Reynolds was still just Ryan Reynolds, I feel like everybody in the movie did a really good job. Like, it was, a lot of it was straight up, like, out there, like, as far as story and everything. But, like, I feel like everyone played their parts, like, really well.
Yeah, they didn't, I wish they would have shown a little bit more of the future. They talk a lot about it, but other than that, I think that's really my only complaint with it is I want more of that world, and maybe we'll get to see more later on.
It was solid. I've been trying to think of how they could do a sequel, but I don't know.
Yeah. Not to give too much away, but it would be tricky.
It would be. Which I'm okay with that. I'm like, we don't need to have a sequel of every movie that comes out, but also I would kind of like one for this movie.
I want that kid to just play. I just want more of that kid being Ryan Reynolds.
See how it grows.
That was so character. Fun. Yeah. He was like, don't start quoting the movie. But like it's like right off the bat, he's being bullied, and he's like, "Did you buy like a book on bullying from Amazon? What is this?" It's just like such a Ryan Reynolds thing to say.
Yeah.
It's so good. Anyways, we'll move on. Unless you have anything else to add.
No, it's good. Like, just those mannerisms. I love how he, like, gets them wrong, too. Like, for parts of that movie. Like, the things he says, he gets them totally wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's perfect. It's on Netflix, so if you're paying for Netflix already, you might as well go watch it. I wouldn't say pay for Netflix to watch this movie, but if you have it,
But if it
makes no sense not to go watch this movie. Super
yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, from there, LJ, you haven't seen anything else, have you?
No.
All right. We can get into the movie news then. Ooh. Go ahead, Shelley.
Sweet. We don't have tons to talk about, but as mentioned at the top of the show, it's all Warner Bros. First thing is DC. And I think this is good news. James Gunn pretty much confirmed that he's working on more DC projects.
Good.
Beyond just Peacemaker Season 2 and things of that nature.
It sounds like after Guardians 3, he's just going back to DC, which I'm okay with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like crazy how... I mean, obviously James Gunn has had a very long and successful career, but like when I first heard from him, like because I'm not the biggest movie buff. I don't really pay attention to directors that much, but was because of Guardians. And It's crazy to think that from a surface level, it kind of just looks like Guardians did well. DC's like, we should get him to do that for us. And now it's going
because
really
that's when
well.
Disney let him go for an old tweet.
Yeah. And then, and now it's, I just makes me wonder how Disney feels about it, because DC's is getting, and it's not, I mean, I think James Gunn must have a lot of creative freedom with DC as well, and I don't know why else he would, like, stay, because they're, like, letting him
After seeing Peacemaker,
whatever.
I would say that.
Yeah.
I mean, and Suicide Squad.
I really hope he works on something animated.
I think so, too.
I think him
Did you see he's going to play himself in, like, the next season of the Harley Quinn show?
Oh, I didn't catch that. That's awesome.
Yeah, I saw
That's
that somewhere, and I was like, that's great.
But yeah, I think that's good, because I just think this man is single-handedly saving the DCEU. Single-handedly.
Yeah.
Like,
oh
my gosh.
I don't know, the Batman movie was...
Is that DCEU?
I don't
know
not
anymore.
EU. I don't think it's EU. I could be wrong, but I don't think it is. That's why I specified.
No, it's not considered extended universe. It's considered its own thing.
At this point, extended universe is essentially just Suicide Squad and Friends. In my opinion.
No
That's what it seems
anymore.
like. But I guess we haven't seen much more, and I don't know. I guess maybe the Batman
I
will
thought
play
Friends,
into it.
the
That'd be very
sitcom, was really
interesting.
confused for a second. I was like, what does Friends have to do with it?
But it also...
I
also feel like I can't imagine the Batman, like, Pattinson interacting with...
Peacemaker would be amazing! Oh my goodness, it would be so ridiculous.
Know. I hope it stays separate. I really liked the Batman.
It will. It'll stay separate.
Well, a Flashpoint can do whatever they want with anything they want.
I'm just saying, I'm tired of all this crossing over with stuff, and I think sometimes things are good on their own.
That's true.
Just stand alone.
Pattinson's Batman is perfect for what I said in the like way back when Justice League happened, and like Batman vs Superman is like they need to make Batman so serious that it's comical. He could be like DC's Hulk.
Yeah.
In the beginning, Hulk was just like so serious and angry that it was silly. Batman being his very tonal noir self around Peacemaker would be like watching the Lego Batman almost.
Oh yeah.
Like it would be so ridiculous.
Yeah, it would be.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But I get people probably don't want to mess with. It is
that's its own thing. I think even
it
the
is kind of perfect.
Even the director had said like, no, it's its own thing.
I was gonna say it's like having Joaquin Phoenix just show up. I don't think we should have that happen.
No. Well, yeah, we're not going to have that happen.
Anyway,
Flashpoint
but I think that's good news for DC. I think as far as it's like, Joker and the Batman are both very very serious, but very artistic and really good. Even though I don't ever actually want to see the Joker ever in my life, just because of what I've heard from it, I can respect it, right? I'll very much respect it.
It's definitely one of those movies I won't watch again, but it was really good.
As far as the more comical side of DC, though, like I think James Gunn's got to unlock. So that's very, very good for DC. Very good news for them. So we have that. We also have confirmation about a Godzilla vs Kong sequel. It's actually going to start filming this year.
Speaking of Ryan Reynolds, insert "but why" meme here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't need this.
It's a classic. Oh, this thing is really successful. We gotta have a sequel.
I mean, being that I'm still a King Kong and Godzilla fan, that movie wasn't that great. It was fine, and it was exactly what I wanted it to be, but it wasn't good enough that we need a sequel.
I just don't know how you can make a sequel better.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I mean, not
me,
like, it was amazing, but it was everything needed to make a Godzilla. Like, it was Godzilla and Kong, and they fight each other, and then they fight.
It did what I wanted it to.
Something else. And it was exactly what it needed to be.
And even the way it ends, it's like, like mutual respect.
We're good now.
It's like, it's like, all right, mutual respect.
I prefer gonna combine their forces against some even bigger, better thing that they haven't already encountered.
But it was
they could I don't know. Like, to me, they pulled the biggest
thing that they
could
do.
Because that's all.
Still down for a Pacific Rim Godzilla crossover. There were rumors of that happening. Then Pacific Rim 2 was terrible. I still want it.
Yeah.
I still want that. That would be so cool.
So the next thing we're getting is the Gundam movie, at least. So hopefully that's good.
Yeah. What do they fight at that point? Godzilla versus... And they probably shouldn't fight in the first place. I feel like Godzilla and Kong just need to be friends after this.
Well, yeah. So now
it shouldn't be versus. It should be Godzilla and Kong.
Yeah, Godzilla and Kong. Yep.
Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
Fighting the Empire State Building. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what they could do. I mean, like, they could do, like, I don't know, they could pull from other properties, other like kaiju stuff. Like, I know there's other Godzilla like monsters out there, but they literally used probably the most popular one in the previous movie.
Both of them. So, yeah, there was that one, and the Godzilla 2. He's literally fighting, what's the three-headed thing?
Ghidorah? It might be
Ghidorah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Ghidorah's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know what else.
Know much kaiju.
So so as much of a, like I said, as much of a fan I am of that kind of stuff, I don't know. What can they do?
Left alone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Again, I'll use this again. We don't need a sequel of every movie that comes out.
If they're gonna do it, I think something you kind of touched on. They need to do. It needs to not be a Godzilla kaiju property. They need to like take on another license and throw that in there so that it's
It'd be crazy if
you got something else.
Ultraman or something, like, I don't know.
Yeah,
like, that'd be kind of crazy.
Something weird.
Who owns Transformers?
Paramount. Yeah, that would be insane.
I would kind of
though. It's like that's the sort of level they need to go to.
Yeah,
if they're gonna,
Voltron.
I don't know.
Voltron would be cool.
I mean, that's why I think like Ultraman or something.
Ultraman would be good. Man, Voltron goes to the past because Godzilla and Kong destroy the world, and they just.
I mean, there's people yelling at us like Dallas probably as they're listening to this, and they probably got a list of other like villains they can use, but again, literally, they pulled one of the biggest cards they could pull.
It needs to be stupid. It needs to be so stupid that it's exciting.
Yeah, but see the previous movie I was excited for and on board for. This I'm very hesitant. Like, I'm just like
cash grab.
I don't know. Yeah.
Straight to TV. Aladdin 2. Aladdin 2 is good, but
yeah.
All right. You have any more, Shelley?
No, that's all of our movie news.
All right. We will get into TV news then. Go ahead, LJ.
What we've been watching.
What?
Or not TV. I do that every week.
I was like, wait.
People always get used to it.
I was like, you want me to do news?
Yeah, LJ, what's happening in the TV? Sorry.
No,
he's like, I didn't prepare for this. What shows have you been watching? Is what I was asking.
So, I want to report on this because I thought I had not seen season 2 of The Boys, but apparently I looked.
See it as news.
Well, yeah, this is news. Yeah, technically.
Dealing with LJ.
Yeah, so I had said before, I'm like, I don't think I watched season 2. Apparently I did, and I just got them mixed up between season 1 because it turns out I only need like 3 more episodes left, or like 2.5. So like I totally forgot that season 2 focuses a lot on Stormfront and that whole thing. And so I'm like, I think I just my mind just blended season 1 and 2 all into one.
Okay, that makes sense.
So I'm kind of excited to finish out these last few episodes because I'm like, I don't have to watch a whole season to get ready for season 3 now. Like, turns out I already watched it.
Nice.
So I'm excited about that. And then I'm watching more Clone Wars. Update on that is I'm getting to like, so they're getting into the stuff about like the Night Sisters and Darth Maul now. So like, ooh, this is the real good stuff that I've heard about. Season 4 is, I think, so far easily probably one of the best seasons of Clone Wars. I have not seen the rest, but I'm like, okay, this is what people need to get to enjoy Clone Wars. If you can get to season 4, you'll enjoy season 4, and it's probably going to just get better from here, from what I can tell. So, I'm digging it, and I'm gonna keep watching it.
Cool.
So that's all I got.
And then Shelley, what have you been watching?
So this is gonna sound weird, but I had some friends come over. We wanted to watch Say Yes to the Dress. So it's something we did a lot in college.
You've mentioned watching this show before, so it's like not out of the norm.
But here's the thing that I wanted to discuss.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting upset with streaming services because I could not figure out where to watch Say Yes to the Dress. I looked it up.
Yeah.
And it says it's on Prime Video. I'm like, okay, let's go to Prime Video. You have to pay for it. Okay.
Oh.
Well, it's on. There's stuff on Google. Oh, you have to pay for that too. Okay. Well, because there's like a YouTube TV subscription.
Oh yeah, YouTube TV. Yeah.
Then it's like, okay, well, it's on Hulu. No, you need an advanced subscription to Hulu as well. And
Private
I don't even have Hulu.
Yep.
One of my friends did, so like she logged in, and then it's like, oh, Xfinity. You can use Xfinity. I'm like, well, let's try Xfinity. I have an account. Well, I don't have the subscription to their TV service.
Oh, wow.
We literally were jumping around so much, and what we did, we just ended up going to the TLC website, where you can just watch season 20 for free. You can't watch any of the rest of it for free, but you can watch the newest season for free, which was good enough for us, but I was just like, oh my gosh, this is so annoying.
That was a lot of work.
Just wanting to watch a regular show is like impossible now. Because even if granted, even if I had cable, like there's still specific episodes that I want to watch, which I wouldn't just be able to like select and like watch. Like, I don't know. I was just feeling very frustrated with streaming services. I was like, there's so many, they're all expensive, and none of them have Say Yes to the Dress, or at least none of the ones I want to pay extra for.
Yeah, because like Hulu Live is like $80 bucks.
No thanks. I'm like, I just want to watch Say Yes to the Dress. I just want to watch Bridezilla's going at it. I just want to watch chaos and drama. Like, there's not many reality TV shows I like to watch. And granted, I don't even know if this would define as reality because it's. I mean, every reality show is rigged, obviously, but this one I feel like especially is rigged, and they just rotate people every episode too. But still. It's such a fun show, and I'm sad because I don't know how I'm going to be able to watch more of it unless I just go to their website and only watch a single season. So,
I've seen one episode. It was Lindsay DeFranco's episode.
Yeah, there was Corbin Blue's fiance, now wife, was on it too, which was funny, and that's why I was mentioning Daniel. I'm like, I wanted to show him that episode because we had just watched High School Musical, and I'm like, Corbin Blue, his wifey was on the show getting her dress, but then we couldn't watch it because obvious reasons. So pretty upsetting. It was interesting watching like season 20 though because it was all like filmed during like the pandemic, and so there's like people like Randy, who's like the face of the show, is like home. And like not the place. And granted, it looks like in some of the episodes it shows like he's working on his home, like he's doing a big renovation project. So like that's probably more so why. But it's also just funny how it's like, people literally like go to Kleinsfeld just to meet Randy, and they just meet him through an iPad instead.
Oh, he's not home. Because
he's
not here. He's at home.
And but then he gets to pick up his dog and show it off. But either way, that's all I watched at TV.
Cool. I watched and finished. I don't know if I'd started Last Kingdom last time, but it's done.
Nice.
The show is over, and I'm real sad. I immediately watched Walking Dead afterwards because I was like, can't just.
Which is also ending soon.
Yeah.
Dang.
Like Last Kingdom and Walking Dead are both of my favorite shows ever. So any of them coming to the close is just sad. Apparently, Walking Dead's got a little bit longer. We're in part 2 of a 3-part series finale.
Oh, so they're dragging it out.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be done in a few episodes, and there's a whole other part, I guess, that they're doing.
They're going to save that for, the rest of the year, probably.
Yeah, that show's so goofy. Walking Dead, their last episode was a noir episode, like a detective noir episode.
Oh.
It was
So, did we ever talk about that there's going to be a Negan and Maggie spinoff now?
Yeah, I don't think I put that in the news, but...
I'm just like, are you guys kidding me? Just let this thing die.
Yeah, there's going to be so many spinoffs.
Like, just let it go.
Yeah. The show's it's off the rails, but it's okay. It kind of needs to do that. It's been running so long. Last Kingdom, though, cohesive story, and I'm really, really sad that it ended, but it ended really well.
That's good, unlike Game of Thrones.
Yes. Yeah, it ends wonderfully. My one thing that, like, it's good because of this, but it is sad. I got a cat coming at me. It's just like, if you watch that show, everything is tragic. Like, it's always a tragedy for Uhtred, the main character. Nothing ever goes his way. And so, in the end of it all, you kind of like, you go, I wonder if this is, for the character at least, worth it. He loses so much trying to get to where he wants to be. I'll also say, I think it's an episode before, it might be 2 episodes before the finale. Really cool Christian moment with Father Pulig.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Uhtred is a Norse pagan, and he stays pretty true to that the whole time. But Father Pulig almost gets him.
That's cool.
Yeah, talk of destiny.
That's awesome.
It's fun. They kind of debate back and forth for a little bit, and it's really cool about what destiny means and why things are happening in the order that they're happening. So it's cool because Uhtred feels like he's being tested by the Norse gods, but then on the other side of things, everything is falling into place for like Christianity through him, and so it's like maybe the Christian God is just he's been able to use you, and it's good.
Yeah,
good stuff. A lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That last season really demonized Christianity in a lot of ways, and so for whatever reason, the fathers in these is Father Pulig
kind of brought it back around.
Yeah, Father Pulig did, and then Father Biaka was in the show previously. He was always this really good Christian character, so I'm glad that they didn't kind of die out with that character.
Yeah,
Not to give too much away, but it's a couple seasons old now.
Yeah.
Everyone dies. Show has so many deaths in it, it's ridiculous.
Like another show that
Yeah.
that ended. Yep.
So I don't know. It's good. If you are okay with the rated M for mature show, really liked Vikings, then I would suggest.
Binged that first season pretty hard and never really went back to it, so I probably should.
It gets good. Season 3 is a little repetitive, and then season 4 kind of freshens back up. There's season 1, 2, and 3. This is the entire plot. Is he goes to the king, says, "Hey, I need your help." The king says, "No, not unless you do this thing for me." And then he does the thing for him, and then he says, "Now don't come help me." And the king goes, "No." Uhtred gets mad. Uhtred gets imprisoned. And then he gets out of prison by winning the king's favor. And you just repeat that over and over. And he goes, now dude, come help me. I won your favor. And then it's like, no. Go do this thing for me instead.
Dang.
That's the whole show. For about 3 seasons, but it's fun. It's just good. I don't know. Like I said, if you like Vikings, you'll enjoy that. I preferred that over Vikings Valhalla, which just came out. And it's also good.
Okay.
I've been on a kick. Got to watch Valhalla, and then Last Kingdom came out, and then I finished Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and now we're starting to taper out with some Disenchantment.
There's that movie that Viking movie coming out in the next month or 2. I forget what it's called at the moment, but you got some more coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It looks really good though.
It looks very A21 to me.
Low. Okay, you're thinking low budget.
Not low budget, but real weird indie.
Kind of weird horror, weird kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched The Green Knight, and I hated The Green Knight. Sorry for any fans of Green Knight out there.
I think you're actually going to be able to see what's going on in this other movie, though.
That'll be good. I'm getting very Green Knight vibes from it.
That's true. It does look very indie.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Got some cool cast members.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see. Last Kingdom's getting a movie, so the show is over.
Cool.
But it will have a movie, and I'm excited about that.
Just like anime.
Nice.
Yeah. It'll just be the spin-off OVA, them going to school.
Let's go. Yeah.
Speaking of anime, you didn't put it in the news, but I'm so pumped up for that Tekken anime.
Oh, yeah.
I'm stoked.
Looks good.
That's more Netflix-related stuff, but...
Mm-hmm. Well, we can get into TV news then. We didn't talk about that trailer, but we did have in here the Miss Marvel trailer. Looks fun.
That looks good.
Looks very... like it has a target audience, and it seems like it's really pointed at that target audience.
It seems fun.
Yeah. I'm not
like,
knocking it.
Little comic,
it looks like it knows what it wants to be, and I'm excited about that.
Yeah, it totally fits that character style. Like, I don't know much about the character, just from what I've played from the Avengers video game, and like from what I've seen in a few comics, and that totally fits that character style. Yeah. It looks like they're making significant changes to how her powers work, which I'm still slightly confused by, because, I mean, I think it's because we're getting the Fantastic Four pretty soon, and she also has similar powers. Like,
okay.
She can embiggen and does like stretchy arm stuff, which you see her kind of do in the trailer, but it's not quite that, Yeah. Like, you see her do that with.
I'm assuming the Marvels, they wanted them all to be kind of uniform.
Well, yeah, because she gets her power from like Inhuman related stuff, and that's not even a thing in this universe anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it could be. That'd be crazy. That would be a weird way to like.
That ain't gonna happen.
Bring it back.
Yeah.
So they're gonna change her origin, and they're gonna change up how her powers work.
Terrible. Show.
But also we're getting Fantastic Four, so it's like Mr. Fantastic is gonna have the stretchy powers.
Yeah.
And that'll be confusing, I think.
Yeah, my biggest complaint with Netflix anymore is that tonally they never know what they're doing, and I feel like this is very much has like its tone, and it's gonna stick with it, which I'm excited about.
This is Disney Plus, not.
Well, yeah, that's true.
That's the one thing that is interesting about these shows coming to Disney Plus, though, or like just these shows in general. I feel like with the Marvel shows on Netflix, like generally speaking, like they were all kind of
let's make it super dark
and gritty, but like, but now it's like. It's kind of weird because they have all these shows that are all different genres, just like the movies, but then it's also like they're all different genres, but you still kind of have to watch all of them if you want all the context going into these movies, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I know lots of people who were not interested in, the sort of vibe that WandaVision was going for, even, like, how the way it was advertised. They're just like, I don't want to watch a sitcom. I hate sitcoms. But it's like you still have to watch it or at least look it up to figure out what's going to be happening in Doctor Strange and the next Doctor Strange. But like, and then same thing with like Hawkeye, right? Where it was like a Christmas show. It was kind of fun. And it's like I've mostly liked all of the shows so far, like for the most part. But it is kind of interesting to think how it's like. I still feel they're always going to have a way where it's like, oh, they're all going to be connected to these movies. So if you care about the movies a lot but don't care about the shows a lot, or like you don't want to watch shows where you like don't like the premise or you don't like the genre, right? If you see this and you're like, but like I just feel like people are still going to be pressured to watch it because it's a Marvel show and you're going to have to watch Marvel
Moon Knight
shows.
Comes out in 10 days, speaking of.
Oh yeah, gosh, I mean, that one's
someone could really love Loki and hate Falcon and Winter Soldier. Or vice versa.
True, yeah.
Like, they're so different.
Exactly. Yeah, and so it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, on one hand, I respect it because, like, that's what they do with the movies, too. They have their own genres and stuff. But at the same time, I'm almost like, at least with the Netflix ones, like, it was going for the same audience every time. You're like, hey, you're interested in Marvel, and it's sort of a darker, grittier sort of thing, and, like, we're here for, like, just this sort of mini universe that isn't necessarily going to be that connected to the movies. Like, it never ended up being that connected to movies. But now it's like, hey, we have all these shows. They're all different genres, which is, supposed to go for different tastes and people. But it's like, you still kind of feel pressure to watch all of them. And because people just have different tastes in, shows, like, you're not going to like all of them. And I don't know. It makes me wonder if one's actually better than the other. Like, if it's actually better or worse for
it's hard to compare them as shows because they're all very different.
That is true.
Yeah.
But
speaking of Daredevil, a couple of things. I did check to make sure this was correct. If you get on Disney Plus and you watch Daredevil, apparently they haven't been censored at all, is what the reports were coming in as. There is one.
You have to, like, sign in again and say mature content. Like,
yes, they added parental controls.
There's one censorship going on, and that is that they have scrubbed all of the Netflix original statements.
Oh, well, see, that's not the kind of censoring that...
But still crazy. They were like, we're not giving Netflix credit.
Weird.
Which, I mean, they're in the rights to do. They own the rights to these shows, but it just seems...
It's like
dingy.
It feels weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kind of dirty.
I
mean, they did take my Daredevil icon away. I get that, but but yeah, the not putting like Netflix original in there or like something like I don't know, something that does give credit is kind of sucks.
It makes me really curious about how connected like all of the Defenders will be to this next news piece, and that is that a reboot of Daredevil is in the works. They are calling it a reboot. Let's see. It's not greenlit yet. I'm trying to figure out make sure I get all my facts straight.
Wasn't there like a production thing or something?
Yeah, there's a production listing. So they are getting the people together to make it so that they can get it greenlit.
I hope it's a soft reboot.
I saw in an interview, Charlie Cox had mentioned that he would like to see it kind of be a soft reboot, and that it's... I don't think he wants to get rid of anything that happened in the Daredevil or the Defenders shows, but just not mention any of it because it has been like 5 to almost 10 years since those events have happened in the MCU.
Yeah.
And so he's just kind of grown as a hero and as a person and everything else.
I mean, there were references to like New York and stuff like that in the original, so it's like not that it's not that they couldn't connect them again.
I would love to see, because I just can't imagine very many more of the Defenders characters. That's what I guess I'm going to call, Jessica Jones and Punisher.
Well, that's what Disney Plus labels them as. I think there's like a whole Defenders category now.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep.
I can't imagine we get a Jessica Jones show. It just doesn't seem likely.
Daredevil's the one.
But it'd be really cool to get a Jessica Jones cameo in one of the episodes.
I was gonna say maybe Punisher, but like Punisher won't get his own show. But I could see Punisher making an appearance.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that they make everything canon, I guess.
Yeah. Even
Iron Fist ends in a really weird place, where he's not really Iron Fist anymore, and that I can't remember the actress's name. She is the Iron Fist. I think that would be a really cool Shang-Chi movie.
Yeah.
Would be to explore his world with her.
Yo.
Yeah, I hope that this show they do a bunch of cameos and they open up the doors for all these Defenders to kind of join the MCU.
They could literally just use the multiverse excuse and I'd be fine with that.
Yeah. I just want it all to be canon. I think for me, I invested so much time into all of these shows.
Yeah. But I mean, if Matt Murdock is already there in Spider-Man's world, then they don't have to use that excuse. Yeah.
Yeah. We've got Fisk, who's obviously...
Yeah, we already have Fisk, yeah.
At least a different Fisk than he was in the Daredevil shows.
They're leading to something. Like, it makes sense now, seeing this news.
I'd imagine we get Echo, and She-Hulk, probably cameos in a reboot for sure. I still think Wilson Fisk is going to be the villain of Echo, so I can't imagine he'll be the Daredevil villain.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
That's all theory on my part. But what's also really interesting is there was reports from Oscar Isaac, who's playing Moon Knight. One of the big reasons that he took the role is because it's very loosely connected to the MCU. Nice. And so he really liked that disconnection. So I'd be interested to see how close Daredevil is connected to everything. He might, spin off into its own kind of weird PG-13 Defenders world. I don't know. there's a lot of teams that I want to see happen. And I feel like that's what Marvel is doing right now, is they're just making...
I mean, Moon Knight was part of the West Coast Avengers, which was ran by Hawkeye.
That would be cool.
Yes.
I'm hoping for... I mean, we've got... we don't have the Red Hulk anymore.
Strange
I'm really sad
literally
about...
started the Defenders in the comics.
Mm-hmm. Is it Midnight Suns?
Yeah, that's where the supernatural angle.
So I think that's happening.
They can literally just do a Midnight Suns team up.
I think that would be cool. Dark Avengers, although we've lost the actor's name. I feel really bad for forgetting. What's the actor's name for Thunder? Thunderbolt Ross.
Oh, William Hurt.
William Hurt. Sadly, he passed away.
That
recently.
was a bummer, because I'm like, man, we're not going to get to see him do Red Hulk.
Yeah.
I wanted to see that.
I think they were definitely working towards that, and so it's... I'm sad that he wasn't able to get that done.
Yeah, I mean, they could find a new actor, I guess, but, like...
Yeah, it would be really cool to see him...
I wanted
all
more
that work
William
that he had
Hurt,
put in. Yeah.
It was nice to see him come back for Black Widow. I was like, oh, cool. Like, people they want people to remember that Hulk movie at least a little bit.
Yeah. But Dark Avengers, so we have the actual Avengers.
Yeah.
There's, rumors about X-Men or Fantastic Four or whatever they want to do. There's so many different team-ups coming on. I'm really, really excited. I hope that we get a street level or just a Team New York thing going on. I think that would be cool. Spider-Man and Daredevil
they could do it.
Work together again. But yeah, I don't know. That's the news. The concrete news is that they are working on getting a production team together for that show.
That would be amazing.
And then they're calling it a reboot, not season 4.
Well, yeah.
We'll see what that turns into.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I might not even just be a Daredevil show. It could be something else. I don't know.
I mean, they could literally, instead of just calling it Daredevil, since it's already been used, they could just call it Daredevil, the Man Without Fear. Like, that's all they need to do.
Yeah.
Or the Man Without Fear.
True.
Yeah. It'll be weird to put like a subtitle on it. I don't know.
That's true. They'd have to do something.
Like nothing else has really had a subtitle yet, but for shows.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting. Cool. And then the last piece of news. I don't think this is something that we need. Maybe others disagree. Dune was really good. But there's a prequel series coming to HBO, and I guess that was announced a while back. I must have missed that at some point.
Yeah, I did too.
But it's going to be Dune: The Sisterhood. And it's going to be about, I don't know if you've seen Dune, it's about the sisterhood, the mom. They're these order of magical women.
Yeah.
Best way to put it, I guess. And the news is that they're still working on it. Like, it is moving forward. So I don't know if I need.
We don't have to make a show about everything either.
Speaking of just Dune. Leaving things alone.
Yeah.
Especially with something like Dune, it's like we already know it's gonna be like a trilogy, right?
Just let it be this awesome epic.
They already announced the second one, so it's like, cool. You already have people excited enough with that. You don't need to.
Don't touch the thing. Just let the thing be the thing.
Yeah,
Let's go.
It's such a weird thing to decide to make a franchise and try to milk out. And I don't know.
Yeah.
Also feels dingy.
Yeah, it does.
But maybe it'll be good. I don't know.
Like them Batman spinoffs. I think those feel dingy. Like we don't need those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In that world, makes no sense.
Yeah.
Batman was perfect.
Yeah. Leave it alone.
Yeah. Give me more Darth Vader music. Batman. Like what is that universe without Batman? I don't understand. We'll let the podcast there. We geek it out about anything else this week. Oh, I watched something else. I'll put it.
What?
I geeked out about something else this week. I watched the fight between. This is real. Like, this isn't super geeky, but it's geeky for me. Eddie Hall versus Thor Bjornsson. They, for those who don't know, because it wasn't like super advertised. Eddie Bjornsson could have been. So it's a boxing match that happened last Saturday.
Nice.
It was this weird thing because it was like not well advertised, and there was only one fight on the card, which was them. They're not boxers, but they're two of the world's strongest men. Someone knows what I'm talking about that's listening.
I feel like I've vaguely heard of what you're talking about, and like my family, my family usually orders these fights when they're big enough. Like
this was free,
so I was gonna say I feel like it's just obscure enough to where a lot of people missed it.
Yeah, I don't think it was hyped nearly enough.
No, yeah.
Like I think it should have been on a card. I think it would have been cool. So they're two of the world's strongest men. Eddie Hall has only won the title once, and Thor Bjornsson said that it wasn't a real rep. You have to get a full rep when you're doing strongman competitions, and so Thor says that he cheated and he got away with cheating. Basically, that made Eddie really mad. He basically was like, "I want to punch this man in the face. Let's do a boxing match."
So...
and then Thor Bjornsson agreed to it.
So let's go.
From the sounds of it, there wasn't a lot of animosity from Thor Bjornsson, but he took it really, really seriously. Like, lost 110 pounds. These men are massive. Thor Bjornsson, for those who may be familiar with The Mountain, who was in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
That was played by Thor Bjornsson.
Oh, okay.
Like, the guy is a giant.
Yeah.
So he leaned out, got like actual boxing technique done, and then Eddie Hall leaned out, but he did not build much of a boxing technique. Yeah, it was kind of funny because in the thing they were like, he's like, they have no idea what I'm capable of because he hasn't shown any videos. He had like a really mean right hook, but that was basically all he could do. Yeah, it was a way more entertaining fight than I thought it would be. I thought they'd kind of be hanging off of each other, and it wouldn't be much.
Hope it's better than watching what's his name, Jake Paul, Logan Paul, one of the Pauls.
Yeah.
Fighting Nate Robinson and fighting all these other boxers just to make money.
Mm-hmm.
Like just because the boxers are like, I'll let you fight me. It's gonna make me money. So that sounds more fun than that.
Yeah, I mean, I figured like one would get hit in the face and they would just be done.
Yeah.
They're just boulders of men. But no, it was really good. I recommend.
That's cool. I mean,
watching.
boxing is more about like the stats of the punches, and rather than like people getting knocked out anyway. So like that's cool.
Well, as big as they are, I figured one like knock to the head would be all you'd need.
They probably have. Yeah, they're probably sturdy though. It'd probably take a lot for one of them to get knocked out.
Like Eddie Hall would punch, and I said he's got one mean right hook. It usually didn't land, but when it would land, you could like hear it in the crowd. Like,
oh yeah,
it was intense.
Oh my gosh, have you been to? I've been to live boxing matches. I've even helped work the corner for one. And
oh, cool.
That made me love boxing a lot, like way more than UFC. Like seeing live boxing is amazing.
You might enjoy it then, LJ. It's on Segi TV. Segii, I think. I might be spelling that wrong. It was in a really weird app that you get. Like I said, it was free.
That's probably why. Yeah, it sounded it sounds like a very obscure situation.
Yeah, it was huge when they announced it, and that was 2 years ago. Eddie Hall got injured. COVID happened, and so then it's all like, is it actually going to happen? And then it did kind of under the radar without anyone knowing about it. But it was cool. All right, that's all I was saying. That's cool. Are we geeking out about anything else this week?
Not that I can think of. No.
Okay. LJ, where can they find you at?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at WarHeroLJ, streaming on our Twitch channel Friday nights, probably later or so now. Probably at 9 o'clock or so, since I'm closing the store a lot now. So Friday nights on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Geeks Under Grace.
And Shelley?
You can find me on Twitter at TheShellShock24. And usually you can find me streaming Persona 4 Golden Tuesday nights, twitch.tv/Geeks Under Grace, but my husband and I are trying to move and things kind of wacky, so I can't promise when I'll stream actually, but hopefully after we move it'll be more consistent again.
Cool. You can always find me on Instagram at Cody Armour. Keep gaming, keep praying, and God bless.
Goodbye.
Peace.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Geeks Under Grace podcast. We love hearing from you, so feel free to ask us questions or just comment on the show by using the hashtag GUGcast on Twitter, or by joining the GUGcast questions channel in the Geeks Under Grace Discord. If you like this episode, consider leaving a review or rating of our show on your favorite podcast app. If you want even more Geeks Under Grace, you can always go to geeksundergrace.com. We love you all so much, so thank you for listening.